You did this so something would happen to the baby. Jade Benning, she did not call 911. She did better than calling 911. Jade Benning called the one person who knew where she was, knew who she was with, would know that she was calling scared and for help. Nyjah Jackson said as soon as she heard her best friend's voice, she knew she was scared and she needed help. Jade Benning did better. She made sure that Blaze Taylor was not the only person to hear her last words. She made sure that you heard her last words. She called Nyjah Jackson and said, Blaze, you're scaring me. Nyjah heard him say, you're scaring me. I know you put something in my drink. I knew my drink tasted funny. Let me see what's in your pocket. Let me see. I know you put something in my drink because I can't even walk straight. I can't feel my legs. You put something in my drink. You did this so something would happen to the baby. I think I'm about to pass out. Jade Benning ensured that you heard her words that night where she was so excited to be having a date night with Blaze Taylor. Her best friend came over. They were the only two people there. Dr. Aaron Carney gave a very specific medical explanation that Jade Benning would have gone pulseless within 30 minutes of ingesting that concentration of cocaine dissolved in a liquid. There were only two people there. The proof and testimony that you have heard over the last week from Jade Benning's family and friends, the pictures, the things in her phone, she was so excited to be having this baby. She was so happy and planning for her baby girl to be born. I submit to you that it does not matter how many questions were asked about fentanyl or cocoethylene. It does nothing to change the evidence and proof that you have that Jade Benning did not want to harm herself or her baby. She wanted the opposite of that. The proof and evidence from Nyjah Jackson and Dr. Aaron Carney is proof beyond a reasonable doubt for counts 2 and 4 that Blaze Taylor intentionally put that cocaine in Jade's drink to kill the baby. And Jade Benning was killed when he did that. You also have the proof and testimony of Apple Denny. She described to you an event that happened several years before in 2017, but when she heard about what happened to Jade Benning and that Jade Benning was dating Blaze Taylor, she knew immediately. She reached out and contacted people because she knew she had information that it was him. She testified, told you about very personal things that happened to her, but she described what happened over a period of 2 days. Her testimony was she had to talk him out of putting something in another girl's drink who was refusing to have an abortion so that he could cause the abortion without her knowing. Blaze Taylor chose cocaine. He chose what to put in that drink. He chose a substance that you have heard from multiple witnesses is known to cause spontaneous abortions. Dr. Carney described that it is known to cause a placental abruption. And she also testified that that did not happen to Jade Benning. It did not happen because he killed her. I submit to you that there is proof and evidence that you have heard over the last week that proves beyond a reasonable doubt all 4 counts of the indictment, including the first-degree premeditated murder of Jade Benning. Blaze Taylor chose this. You saw when he got back in touch with Jade Benning, they had a conversation that explained what happened back in November of 2022. This is kind of a somewhat joking conversation, but Jade Benning said, "You gave me a crazy ultimatum." Apple Denny testified to that same ultimatum. You have Jade Benning's decision to the ultimatum he gave her. She chose her baby. She did not choose Blaze Taylor. She did not make the choice that Xavier Winford made back in 2017. She chose her baby. Apple Denny gave that same description of the ultimatum, and you have that there was no contact from November 6th to December 31st of 2022. Jade Benning was planning for her baby. Her life was going on. But you also heard from her family and friends that during that time, she was not posting anything about her pregnancy to social media. She had not posted anything to social media about her pregnancy on the day she was murdered. It was not publicized. When Blaze Taylor comes back into Jade Benning's life, this is the evidence that you heard was not he came back welcoming this opportunity with open arms. He tells her very specifically in these messages that your life is changing. This is going to be a thing for you. At no point does he say we, me, ours. This is going to change Jade's life. And he is not portraying it as a positive, telling her she shouldn't be so optimistic. And Jade Benning, just as her friends described her, always optimistic, still said, okay, but I'm going to be able to make this work. Blaze Taylor did not go to any of her pregnancy appointments with her OBGYN. Not one. She asked him very specifically, sending him the calendar event, and specifically saying, I really hope you can make it. I would love for you to be there when I found out the gender of our baby. If it's going to be a boy or a girl, I want you to be there. And he did not go. And even when they saw the shadow and she had to have follow-up testing and then another follow-up appointment, he didn't go to any of those. Jade's stepmom, Andrea, she went with her the day that she found out she was having a baby girl. And Jade was still so happy, even though he wasn't there. You also have proof about why Jade wasn't posting, about why everybody didn't know that it was his baby. He was the father. You have a message where Jade is saying, I talked to my mom and let it be known not to bring up you or my situation to anyone. She is defending him and his request that no one know that he's the father of the baby. He responds, but it's all good as long as we are on the same page moving forward. Everything is cool, but I appreciate it. The day before Jade Benning is murdered, the day before, the night before she is murdered, Jade Benning wanted to see Blaze Taylor that night, and he didn't. He is texting Xavier Winford, who he's had some kind of relationship with since 2017. He's texting her and saying, you should never doubt anything when it comes to us. And she says, I'm doing my best. And he says, I know, I'm trying to reassure you. She thanks him. He says, I'll do anything to help you. That's what I'm here for. She says, I trust that's true. And he says, good, do you trust in us? She responds, yes. Good, then you have nothing to worry about. Everything is going to work out. She says he's glad. He says, me too. I love you. And I need you to love me back. And be in love with me. She responds that she loves him, and he says, good, I just want us to be happy together. We are going to be just fine. We just need to stick together. And she promises him that they are going to stick together. The next night, he goes over to Jade Benning's house for date night, the date night that she's planned. She has canvases so that they can paint pictures for the baby's room. He goes over there to the date night with cocaine to put in her drink. He goes to the date night. The testimony that you heard from Nigella Jackson and from Keontae Jones about them stopping by, that whole time that he's shuffling those Uno cards, he has the cocaine to put in her drink. He gets there at 7 p.m. They show up at 7:30 for 30 minutes talking about spades and having random conversation. And he has it. He does not call 911 until 9:29:27. I'm sorry. The call that Jade makes is at 9:29:27. EMTs don't get to her until 9:50. Dr. Carney's testimony is that Jade was given the cocaine that she ingested orally 30 minutes before. You have this photograph from 8/29 that shows the progress. She has not been given anything at that point. The next image that you have is at 9:10 p.m. It is somewhere between this point and the next image of their progress that she has to have been given the cocaine in her drink. "9:24 p.m. is the next time that there is an event. It is after that 30-minute mark. She has finished the painting. You heard Dr. Carney's testimony about how the symptoms would start off not severe, but it would escalate really quickly. And 9:24 to 9:28, you have 4 minutes. 4 minutes after he has put this in her drink. He is there and knows what he has done. And for 4 minutes, takes picture after picture with Jade Benning. Blaze Taylor went there with a plan.